Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Today is June 4th, and we're going to send some happy birthday shout-outs to some great artists. We're going to say happy birthday to Miss Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and Papas, Mr. Freddie Fender, the legend himself, and Mr. Stefan Lasard, the bass player from the Dave Matthews Band. We're also going to play some songs by a couple of artists who were born on this day, and the first of which is going to be the song Brick by Boring Brick by Paramore, and say happy birthday to their drummer, Mr. Zac Farro. And then after that, we're going to play a song by Tin Machine and say happy birthday to Mr. Reeves Gabrels of Tin Machine and David Bowie fame. So first, let's do the Paramore song, Brick by Boring Brick.
She lives in the fairy tale, somewhere too far for us to
Interesting song. It's the first time I've heard it. I honestly just picked the song at random, looking into it a little bit. I know it's not their least famous song, frankly, because the actual music video on YouTube had like 141 million, views. So clearly a more popular song by them. But I chose it because from what I read, people consider it to be one of Zac's best drum parts for the band. And since I was saying happy birthday to Zac, why the hell not, right? Really interesting imagery in the lyrics, and I think Haley did a wonderful job writing some lyrics that had, some more story to tell, which I think was pretty impressive. Obviously, her voice is incredible, and that's something I've come to learn in this experiment of listening to this band for the first time, thanks to suggestions from a friend of mine. Anyway, so happy birthday to Zac on that one. And now let's move on to the Tin Machine song, Heaven's in Here, and say happy birthday to Mr. Reeves Gabrels.
Telling it loud. stumble and twirl, there's heaven and hell. We stumble and fall, uncertain we fall. There's flesh on flesh, but there's heaven, heaven and hell. Heaven and hell. Among the twilight and stars, like a rocket through boys. Heaven's in hell. You dance to my tongue. The dance of the sky. We're the twilight and stars. And there's heaven in hell.
So Tin Machine was one hell of an original band. They really were. It was, obviously David Bowie's group, and he formed this group because I think he just kind of wanted to do more of an avant-garde rock thing, like a straight rock thing. Um, sort of a divergence from the sort of art rock thing that he was so well known for with stuff like Ziggy Stardust and other songs, other albums, and then also sort of getting a little bit more away from the even the blues laden stuff he was doing, on the Let's Dance album with Stevie Ray Vaughan playing in the background on that one. And I just think it's a really interesting, unique mixture of music. I think they only did 2 albums together. There might be a third one in there, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Reeves Gabrels was a very unique guitar player. And some of the sounds that he created, frankly, were a product of the fact that he actually had, he was using Steinberger guitars, headless guitars with their Trans-Trem system, which was a tremolo system that was incredibly wide-ranging and very, very, very accurate, and very stable. It was a very, very, very stable platform. And I remember back in the day, there was a time period where people thought that the Steinberger headless guitar was incredibly futuristic, but then people scoffed at it because it was not normal. Headless guitar, no headstock, tuning machines were down on the body. Everything was shrunken and smaller, and people were, oh, that's not a Strat or a Les Paul or a Jackson or a Paul Reed Smith. And people pretty much dismissed them out of hand because they were too futuristic in many ways for some people to grasp hold of. Although some legitimately famous guitar players and musicians did use them. Mike Rutherford from Mike and the Mechanics and Genesis, Vito Bratta from White Lion. Obviously, Eddie Van Halen played one back in the 5150 days. And obviously, again, Reeves Gabrels used one for, a while. Um, it's funny to me because now today, there's a trend towards some headless instruments today, with companies like Stramberg and others, even Ibanez to a certain extent, making headless guitars. And it makes me laugh because again, I had three Steinbergers back in the 90s. I had a white one of the GM models. I had a red GP model, which was sort of their mini Flying V, and then I had another GM, which God, what color was it? It was black, I think. And I love the guitars, I really did, but you know, I guess I caved to peer pressure and kind of went away from them. There's part of me that still wishes I had one. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Tin Machine did a really impressive performance on the old Arsenio Hall show too, which I love to watch. Unfortunately, the video quality on it is pretty low at this point because it's not like anybody's gone back and remastered the videos from old Arsenio Hall shows. But the Arsenio Hall show to me was a really great late night talk show because Arsenio did feature bands and groups that would not normally have made it on late night TV. I mean, sure, they had groups like TLC and Janet Jackson and other pop and hip hop acts on there, but then they also had bands like Faith No More and Megadeth and Tin Machine. And then I think Bella Fleck and the Flecktones went on there once. Larry Carlton sat in with his band, with the Arsenio Hall show band. So did Andy Summers from the Police. Heck, even Bill Clinton played saxophone on the show. It was like that was something you weren't seeing on Johnny Carson or David Letterman. I promise you that much. And so, a little bit of a hat tip to the old Arsenio Hall show too. And so if you want to see a really cool live performance by Tin Machine, go back and watch that live performance on the Arsenio Hall show where David Bowie ventures out into the audience and he starts singing to the audience or in the audience, and is just, again, really, really a pretty cool live performance. Anyway, that's it for today. I want to say happy birthday again to Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and Papas, Stefan Lasard, the bass player from the Dave Matthews Band, Freddie Fender, Mr. Zac Farro, and Mr. Reeves Gabrels. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. We can talk about it further. Know that I appreciate you, and I wish you well. Y'all take care now.